Pipi here. I just wanted to come today to talk about this painting that this video is going to be about. It's a different video because I'm going to be talking about the pros and the cons of using metallics, and the painting didn't necessarily turn out the way that I wanted to, but I still wanted to show you guys where I could have done things differently, but where I did things that turned out a good result, because there are some good things and then there are some bad things. And then also the painting isn't necessarily all, like, I don't have to necessarily toss the painting. There's other things that we can try. So it is still on my drying table, and I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to, in another video, we are going to try another technique to see if I can still save it. So fingers crossed, and we'll see what happens. But anyways, thanks for watching. Also, I wanted to show this. I hung up this painting. This is from my first video, Dutch Boar #1. It went with my living room decor, so I decided to hang it up and enjoy it. So I hope you guys gain some knowledge, like I'm learning as I go. Every single painting that I do now, it is a learning experience. It's just fun. I hope that you guys enjoy. Hello. Okay. So this is the back of the painting. I want to show you how I prep it. I put in little cup hooks and I tape it with painter's tape to protect it. The cup hooks help keep the painting lifted up a little bit, so that way if I need to pick it up, to turn it, or whatever, I can turn it around, move it without getting, it's easily picked up. Some people put it on cups, or they just put it on the table without propping it on anything, but I find that messes up the sides. So putting it on the little cup hooks, I can just screw it into the wood, versus some people use little thumbtacks, but I was hurting my hands trying to push the thumbtacks in. So the cup hooks help, just because I just screw it in. And also the paint comes off easily off the little cup hooks as well. So nice and reusable. Another trick when you use the painter's tape, once you put the painter's tape down, if you get a wet paper towel and you run that along the edges of the painter's tape, that helps create a seal, because there's glue, I guess, that is activated when you get the painter's tape wet, and you can actually use that when you're using painter's tape on the wall as well, and then you don't have any bleeding or minimal bleeding of the paint. So that helps protect the back of your canvas. Alright, so we got the base coat down, and now I'm just wiping off my gloves so that way I don't get white paint all over the place. Because that can happen. Alright, so these are the Liquitex basics. I got a kit. that I'm using. I will be posting the colors in the comments below. The bronze, copper, white, and a pewter dark silver, something of that nature. Now we're getting all the air bubbles out of the base. Then I found a little chunk. How to get that out of there. Okay. Now, this is the graphite. I wanted to put that down first because I wanted the contrast against the white, which, of course, that is the good thing to do. And then I put the iridescent white down after that, which again, that was a good thing to do. That helped create the really, really awesome marbling that we're going to see later on in the picture. And then we put down the copper. And part of my issue, I think, that I had was I didn't put in enough of the white with this. I left it too dark in the middle, and you guys will see that as we go along. But this is my first time doing all metallics. And when you're working with metallics, you have to leave the paints thicker, or else they just sink. Now, of course, they sink and they disappear, but maybe it's different when you're dealing with all metallics. So maybe I should have made them thinner and it would have been different. I don't know. I mean, they spread out fine with the blow dryer, so I'm not sure. Now, when you're doing I call this a puddle pour, it's okay to, you don't have to spread them, in a puddle. You can do different designs in your puddle. Kind of breaks it up a little bit, gives it some texture. Just wish I would have put lots and lots more white in the middle. I should have just stopped there. That's where I should have stopped. But I love that copper. It's so pretty. And I'm like, oh, let me just put it on top. I shouldn't have done it. But it's okay, because we're going to figure out how to fix it. Or at least attempt to. and we can all learn together. So here comes the blow dryer. And just the marbling effect that the white and the graphite made is just amazing. But that copper and the bronze mixture together just totally took over that middle. I end up just looking at it like, what am I going to do now? Which technically, when the paint is still wet, that is the time where you can do another pour. You can put more paint on it. You can fix it. You can adjust it. Once the painting has dried, that's where it becomes more difficult. You're more stuck to the different things that you can do to fix it. Now, there's different things that you can do to fix it. You can, some people end up using their cry cut. I found out the other day that you can take, and see, there I am, I'm looking at it like, what am I going to do? You can take your cry cut machine and use your paint droppings. So let's say you pour it out onto like a trash bag or a silicone mat, flat, so you make it into a flat surface. You put that onto a cry cut sticky mat, you feed it into a design, and then you can glue it onto your painting. So that is an idea that we can do with this. Or we could do, as I had suggested earlier, a balloon smash, which I'm thinking about doing. I don't know. So the wheels are revolving. Now here, I'm trying to bring out some of the copper. It's not really working. It is creating a little bit more texture in the marble area. But I'm not liking how it is putting the white into the copper. So that didn't really work for me either. But it's, it's trial and error. You see what you want to do. I did like how it did bring out some squiggly lines, but this is where I ended up blowing the copper over the white areas that I had created. I was like, yeah, I didn't like that. And then here we just got to make sure we get all the sides. I sped it up a little bit because that can take some time. And then you want to make sure you scrape the bottom of your canvas so you don't have any drips of paint dripping off, because that can mess up when you actually go to pull the tape off. You want to make sure everything is nice and neat. Just take a little tool up underneath the bottom of it. Then I want went back in and got that one little white curly cue. I use a straw because I'm not that tall, so I don't want to mess up the edges of the painting by leaning in on it. So the straw helps give me a little bit more height, a little bit more reach when I'm blowing. Now we go in for the close-up so we can see the awesome marble look that we got. I mean, it's amazing. So I want to try to save this painting. So hopefully I can figure out what I can do. Maybe I'll try the cry cut idea. But I gotta figure out what design to put in there. Any ideas, any helpful hints would be much appreciated, because I'm at a loss. But it's stunning on the outer edges. I mean, the color, I love it. Just put too much copper on the inside. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something right along with me on this one. If you could like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great weekend.